Hi, Sharks. My name is Asaf, and I'm here raising $500,000 for 4% equity in my company, Chefee Robotics.
Wow.
Sharks, we all know how hard it can be
Mm-hmm.
to cook healthy, fresh meals while juggling our busy lives. How many millions of parents around the world care about the nutrition of their families, but they hate cooking? Don't know how to do it, don't have time to do it, or just plain suck at it. But what if all of that could change? What if cooking was so easy, you could literally walk into your home and talk to your kitchen?
Nice.
Sounds like science fiction? Not anymore. Forget self-driving cars and start thinking self-cooking kitchens. Introducing Chefee, the world's first embedded robotic chef. From meal planning and cooking to tracking nutrition and yes, even ordering the groceries, Chefee will do it all. Here's how easy it is to use. Just once a week, you'll restock ingredients. Then open the Chefee app to place an order. Chefee will do the rest. Weighing, combining, dispensing, and cooking. So Sharks, who's ready to bring personal, private chefs to everyone with Chefee?
What's going on? This is your host, intellectual property attorney, Dave, and I am back with another Shark Tank reaction video. Now, and this is, I must say, an interesting one, and he actually has something here, in my opinion, as an almost 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents to trademarks to copyrights. I actually worked on, and this was a company out of California with my old law firm that I used to work at. They came up with a burger machine, essentially. So just think of you going in McDonald's and, you know, they all have the kiosks now, and you kind of type in your order. This essential machine made the burger right in front of you, from the patty to, you know, putting the different condiments that you ordered on the burger to the bun and even the fries. And this was all automatic, no human intervention. And I worked on multiple patents I wrote multiple patents for this burger making machine. So I definitely think it is a market, especially, again, as he kind of talked about a little bit in his opening, where you're trying to go healthy these days. That's the big thing, right? You have the McDonald's, you have the Wendy's, all these fast food restaurants, which are good and convenient and inexpensive, but they're not necessarily healthy. And it seems like he's providing an alternative to that, which again, essentially does everything for you, but on a healthier scale. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the price is looking like for this thing. So I'll be interested in hearing that. And the three things I typically look for to see whether or not this thing is going to be maybe a slam dunk is it simple? Is it effective? And what's the market like? I can already tell you, from not having to do anything to being able to prepare a healthy meal, it's going to be definitely a big market for that. Now, as far as the simplicity of it and the effectiveness of it, I think hopefully he kind of disclose more, talk about that more, the Sharks pull that out of them. That remains to be seen. And if that is the case, and these things are, you know, the price point as well, then he may have something. So that's kind of my initial thoughts as he kind of did his introduction. So let's get back into this thing. And hey, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Would you buy this machine if it is priced well? It orders your food for you, it makes the food for you, and oh, by the way, the food is healthy. Look at that. That's interesting. So let's see what he said. Let me share my screen and let's get back to it.
You got to show us how it works.
Show us how it works.
Definitely
of
need
course.
to see how it works.
Let's do it. In front of you are 3 dishes that Chefee prepared. We have Spanish paella, spicy ratatouille, and tofu tikka masala.
So Chefee made this.
Yes.
This thing
And
has
as my mom would say,
different
betavon,
patches,
which means
flavors.
bon appetit.
Wow.
This machine is so many different aspects of
The
it.
chicken paella is amazing. Can you add like spices and stuff?
Of course. So you can customize it here based on an ingredient, if you're allergic to anything, and so forth.
This tastes great. Let's see it work.
All right. I'm going to customize the recipe. I'm going to select the number of servings. I can even schedule it. I'm going to say right now, and Chefee receives the order.
That curry is delicious.
Really good, isn't it?
Really. It's my favorite.
Ta-da!
Just like magic.
What?
Chefee comes out of your counter, and the first thing it does, it picks up the lid of the cooker. It's going to invert it.
No way. It seems unbelievable.
The future is here, Barbara.
Wow.
Chefee is made of 2 parts, upper and lower. The upper stores and dispenses ingredients. The upper fits into a standard upper kitchen cabinet.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What's it doing now?
So right now it's dispensing and weighing.
So it goes under.
Yep.
And based on what you put in the app,
Exactly.
it's going to put the materials in.
Correct.
What about fresh things like proteins?
Right, so the left side is refrigerated. So we have a refrigeration module built specifically for Chefee.
But you're not ordering from you.
No, we're a robotics company. For the groceries, that's a subscription model. One of them is integration with Instacart or Amazon Fresh.
You're in the robot business.
That's what we do. We do the tech.
So now it has the material.
Yep.
What's it doing
It's gonna
now?
pour it right into the cooker.
Is that a standard cooker or
Right.
yours?
We don't reinvent the wheel. We're not here to build a cooker. We're here to build a robotic ecosystem that automates your appliances.
So it's a vending machine connected to a bowl.
Facts.
Far more than that,
That
but
can
yes,
cook
if it
it.
looks that
That can
simple,
cook
then
the
we've
food.
done a great job in hiding the complexity.
It works with any stovetop?
No, so these are cookers, and they're
So you
inside and back.
provide that.
But these are yours.
Correct. It's an induction cooker.
Okay.
So it's all incorporated.
All incorporated. You can install these in any modern kitchen on the planet.
So what is this going to cost me if I say, I love Chefee, I saw it on Shark Tank?
And before we get to the cost, I want to bring it back on myself because, man, this thing looks interesting. And again, like I said, for me working on the patents, number of patents, patent applications for the automatic burger machine a number of years ago, this thing has tons of patents. Each module can be its own patent. The overall system is a patent. Man, this thing can be very complex as it relates to a number of utility patents that will protect different aspects of this invention. But again, what do you guys think so far? You guys saw how it kind of dispenses what you put into the app, and it I would imagine that it cooks it, even though he kind of didn't necessarily show it cooking it, but it seems like at some point it will cook the food. So what do you guys think so far? Would you guys buy it or not? Definitely leave your take in the comment section. It was interesting because I did a video which has like 20,000 views at this point, and it was on I think fellow Manila, who was on Shark Tank, I want to say last week, and he had some seasoning, and it was essentially a Filipino seasoning in a Filipino culture. And one of the comments under the video was, so he essentially made some seasoning that everybody can make that every Filipino can make if they weren't lazy. And again, that's we're unfortunately most Americans are lazy. They don't want to. And I kind of replied under that comment to say, hey, yeah, just in the same way that we would have never thought that we would be too lazy to go get our groceries or not have enough time or don't want to do it in terms of going to buy the groceries. And we use these apps to go, essentially grocery shop for us and have them delivered to our home. So again, as time is becoming of the essence, as you're trying to reduce the task that you have to do, as looks like it went out for a little bit. It's back, but as we're trying to limit the amount of time that limit the amount of time that we're working on other tasks and kind of free up more time. Man, I can definitely see where you have the 2-parent household and mom and dad are working, and hey, man, we may not always want to come back home and cook prepare a meal for the kids or for ourselves, and we don't necessarily want to go out every day. So if we can have a healthier option that's affordable, that'd be the big thing. And I think we'll get off into that here in a little bit. How affordable is this thing? But to the extent that it's affordable, I think it may be something here. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I can definitely see myself purchasing this thing. Let me get back to it, and let's get to the price.
I want the whole thing, including installation, and I hope a maintenance contract, because there's a lot of moving parts. What's that going to cost me?
For the value engineered version of Chefee, as low as $9,500 is what we want to launch with.
10 grand.
10 grand.
Right.
So I'm
All the
going
way
to
up
work at this
That's
point.
10 grand?
Yes.
Everything I see here.
The refrigeration will probably not be included in the 10 grand because it goes from $9,500 all the way up to a premium version, which we want to.
Which is how much is the premium version?
We're thinking it's between $40,000 and $50,000.
Holy
Wow.
God,
So
that's
at
a
40
lot.
to 50,000, what do I get that I don't get at 10,000?
So you would get more ingredients, right? So you'll be able to make a lot more things.
So how are you going to bring this to market? Have you done it yet? Have you sold any? If you have, what are your sales? What does it cost to make one? What does it cost to acquire a
The
customer?
numbers.
Yeah, that's what I want.
First of all, we are pre-revenue. Okay, we haven't launched. We have a $500,000 signed LOI
Are
from a
not
high-end
selling.
kitchen remodeling company already in Palm Springs. Now, in terms of where we're going all in with social media and organic marketing. And we've also shown this already to builders, designers, high-end kitchen appliance companies like Wolf Sub-Zero. I presented this a year and a half ago, face-to-face with one of their top execs. He loved it.
Is the idea with someone like Sub-Zero is that they would rebrand this?
That would be a licensing play.
Hey,
Okay.
Is that your go-to-market?
It's not necessarily. So everything is on the table. That's the beauty. Well, let's talk about strategic partnerships with celebrity chefs, right? Partnerships with builders, designers. Every person I've shown, we've been hosted by high-end designing locations in Austin, Texas.
What do you
right?
mean you've been hosted? You've actually installed these units?
So we've installed 3 total. So one in our investors' home, one in our HQ, and now you're seeing this. So
So why haven't you shipped already?
because I don't want to over-promise, under-deliver. I want to do the opposite.
That's the sales pitch, right? Why specifically are you not shipping yet?
Oh, we're not shipping, which is why we're here. We're raising $500,000 to get to manufacturing.
How much have you raised so far?
$450,000, and I injected $90K of my own money as well.
For the $10,000 unit, what's your cost to make it?
About $1,500 materials, $1,000 in labor.
So let's just be clear here. You're not a robotics company. You're an integration company. You're taking off the shelf or stuff you've licensed, and you've written some software and you have some IP, and you're doing that to integrate it, right? You're not manufacturing the individual components
Is
yourself.
that true?
That's a great question. So we are a robotics company. We have patents pending in the US and abroad, specifically for the entire system, the custom parts,
I told you.
and the embedded form factor.
I told you, and I'll just bring it back on myself for a second. I've worked on I've wrote patent applications for these type of systems where you have a patent application on an overall system, and then you have a number of patents on the subcomponents in it. So that's definitely a no-brainer. So I think this has more features than the application or the system that I worked on, but I may disagree with Mark on this one. I think it is a robotics company. It may include a little more, but I definitely think it's a robotics company. So let's go back to the pitch here.
8,000 hours on this. I've learned everything from mechanical engineering, 3D printer. I slept under the 3D printers in the office for weeks to get this done. So yes, we're not producing the motors, but we're absolutely creating the entire robotic system.
That's
Ford
an
doesn't
integrator.
produce the car. Oh man,
There's
that's
nothing wrong
BS.
with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's BS. That's BS. I disagree with Mark on that one. That's like saying Ford doesn't manufacture vehicles. They don't necessarily manufacture each individual parts. They may purchase the parts and then they manufacture the vehicle. He's buying the individual parts and then he's manufacturing a total vehicle. He's still a manufacturer, a robotics company. I'm not sure what Mark is talking about on that one. But let me know. Let me know if you guys disagree with me. But I think I disagree with Mark on that. Let's get back to it.
I don't think there's anything wrong, but you got to say who you are and what you're doing and what's working, what's not working. Because if we're going to understand how you get to a product, we have to understand why you're not already there. If you truly created something that is so differentiated, so unique, when you're in an industry when everybody and their brother seems like is coming out with a new robotics-based system, there should be so much money being thrown at you that you can't even keep up with
I do agree with that one.
And now I see you're trying to find a hole in my story, right?
I see 1,000 holes.
I don't see any.
I have a question. I want to buy the product. I want to put it in my Miami kitchen. Who's going to maintain it for me when it stops working?
Because it's such a simple, elegant system, we can actually piggyback on platforms like TaskRabbit.
Oh, you're killing me.
All they need is the plumbing experience. A handyman can install this
Let
and maintain.
me clear the deck. It sounds sexy. Definitely. I was like, whoa, this is something I'd love. But I really don't trust the execution. I'd be afraid to call and say mine is broken. So I'm out. You have the other sharks.
Regardless of what you've built or haven't built from an IP perspective, it's a beautifully designed, integrated machine. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
But if I don't want to cook, there's lots of other services where people can make well-prepared food packages that show up that don't cost $10,000. I just don't know if I see the market.
I agree with that.
I'm out.
Let me tell you guys a quick.
Do you have one of these in your home?
Yeah, in our HQ.
You use it every day?
Not every day, but we've used it a lot. And let me tell you, the experience.
And what do you do if you want a baked potato?
Order an Uber
I'm
Eats.
serious.
I want to hit the market with something that's beautiful, can make you hundreds of dishes from scratch, but yeah, I can't make you everything on the planet. But we can make a lot of potato dishes.
You're like all inventors, right? You are so excited. You are so passionate. But I don't understand how well this will adopt, and maybe I'll be kicking myself down the road. But for today, I wish you good luck, but I'm out.
I'm not worried about the price of this. I know the other sharks are, but I know there's a high-end market for tricking out kitchens because I buy Sub-Zero products. That's why I was interested in hearing more about the Sub-Zero deal, because if they take it over, rebrand it, and provide their maintenance contract, that would be interesting. but I'm choking on the 4%. I mean, the next time you raise money, I get diluted.
We're here, open to negotiation.
Look, I'll make you an offer. I don't care if you like it or you don't.
That's interesting. He hasn't sold anything. Again, he just all on potential.
White.
All on potential. Let's fast forward through the commercials here and get back to it.
Yes, it's
$1,000. But I know a little bit about robotics. I know about,
We did this.
Go back.
conceptually makes sense.
Chef. This is like my.
Look, I'll make
There we
you an
go. There we
offer.
go.
I don't care if you like it or you don't. I'll give you the 500,000. I want 15%.
Thank you for that offer.
Yes, it's reasonable.
So I'll simplify things. I think it looks great. Conceptually makes sense.
Definitely looks good.
Technically, not quite sure whose pieces and parts you integrated, but the reality is there's no way you did it from scratch and created everything in a couple years for $450,000.
The fact that you think it's so crazy that we did this tells me that holy yeah, we have done it.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you haven't said anything about the technology at all. You've described it and you've sold the value proposition, which is great. But I know a little bit about robotics. I know about, operating systems, and I know about integration.
If you want, I can shut off sales and go technical and geek out with you from now until for an hour. Okay.
Oh, please don't.
No.
I know, that's why that's
Mark,
the
are you going to
problem.
do this deal or not?
Do it anyway.
I'm out.
So, I am the only chef up here. I'm a
That's
real
wonderful.
chef. I'm putting myself out of business.
Mr. Wonderful,
Yes.
can I counter you with 8%?
No. The journey is binary on this thing. I think the only way to actually make this work and sell hundreds of thousands of installations is with licensing. And you're going to find that out without me or with me, because the maintenance is going to be paramount.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you be
with
willing
you.
to go down to 12?
No.
Ooh, tough shark.
I know.
12, 15, does it really make a difference?
Right.
I'm trying to save. All right, Mr. Wonderful, we got a deal.
Wow.
That's good.
Congrats, Kevin.
Let's
is
let's
good.
focus on how we can actually make some money. Let's go and see Sub-Zero.
Congrats.
That's cool. That's cool. So I'm glad that he got a deal. Let's take a look at the website. I already know that this thing has a ton of patents. He obviously talked about it, so it is protected. Kind of disagree with Mark as relates to it being a robotic company, just because he's not maybe manufacturing each individual part. But again, disagree with me if you think that I'm wrong on that. Let's see here. Stop sharing the screen. And let's look at the website. There we go. So this is obviously the gentleman. Let's go up here. There's a lot of pictures. Seems like from my understanding, pictures are good. Okay, it seems like let's take a little bit more of a detailed look at this thing. The refrigerator, or the system has the refrigerator. You see the different ingredients. At least like it's just talking about it at a high level. Typically, if they do have IP, which again, I know they have some patent pendings, which he talked about. They're listed at the bottom. They're probably not listed because they're not issued. But I mean, I typically would still like to see patent pending on this thing, just to let people know that, hey, they are protecting their IP. It doesn't look like anything is on here. Let's go up here. Chefee can also be a trademark term that, and I would imagine that they are protecting as well. You can see that seen on Shark Tank. I'm not going to get off into the journey. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like they have a video. The cool thing is, and I'll bring it back on myself as kind of we wrap this one up. But the cool thing is, it's not like this big machine that's kind of standing off in the corner of your kitchen, but it seems like he can integrate it within the kitchen, where maybe cabinets will otherwise be, which is pretty cool. I've also worked on some smart faucets, some smart like kitchen sinks. That those are been cool patent applications. So it seems like, man, it's a lot of technology, a lot of work being done as it relates to kitchens, whether it's cooking or the refrigeration or the sinks, just kind of make it more of a hands-off approach. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing for us as Americans, as we kind of tend to get more lazy and not want to do things, but want these things to be automated. The big thing about automation is it's good, but as Mark said, as Kevin said, you have these mechanical components to it. And these, as Kevin and Mark said, you have mechanical components to it, and these things break down. you're going to need a team that can reliably service this equipment. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. We will definitely keep an eye out on it and look to try to get this guy on the podcast. Let me know if you in the comments if you will buy this thing. I think it's pretty cool. Kind of going back over the 3 things that I look for. Simple is definitely maybe not. It may be simple to operate overall, but it has some complexity to it. I don't think that's a big issue here. I think effectiveness. I'm not able to answer that question. I don't think he's able to answer that question at this point because they haven't sold any. I think once they get these units into the homes of the people and they start to work, you'll see how effective it is as it relates to cooking food. It seems like at least the samples that he had, the sharks liked it. They thought it was tasty. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But to be able to do that and be consistent at it time and time again will be interesting. And then the market, I think, I think the market is shrunk on this one, right? If this thing, which was priced at $5,000 or maybe a couple grand, I think it would be done for the everyday consumer. But the fact that the lower units are 10 grand and they all go all the way up to 40 grand, you're looking at a specific target audience, which I think is kind of more of the luxury, higher end clients, which again is not a bad thing. Obviously, Kevin thought it was worth still doing a deal. But I guess it does kind of shrink your market pool a little bit. So we have to kind of see how things play out. Again, leave a comment underneath to tell me what you think about this one. Would you buy this or would you not buy it? I think it's man, it's an interesting technology. As an IP attorney, I would have loved to work on the patent applications for this. I think it would have been some cool stuff to be able to work on kind of the different interfaces, different equipment. And this is where we're going as at least here in America. It seems like they have some PCT applications or some foreign applications. So they're trying to get this thing abroad as well, which it seems to be cool. I would imagine in Europe and some other countries overseas or countries in Europe and then some other countries overseas as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.